P-A-S-C-A-L. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your day, making it amazing, making it positive, making it everything you want it to be and more, because you deserve it. That's it. Just make it a positive one, y'all. Okay? Because that's all that matters. All right? I'm on for a short show, but I wanted to hop on because I know there was somebody that was in the chat. Maybe they'll hop on. I don't know. But there was somebody in the chat last night that said that they might possibly hop on and chop it up with us tonight. So I figured, hey, I might as well just do a live really quick, talk with you guys about this new news that I just found out a few hours ago. Hadn't had a chance to jump on here earlier. So I was like, you know what, let me do this now. You know what I mean? Let me hop on and chop it up with you guys about this right now. Now, this is very, very interesting information. But there's a lot to dissect in this information too. So we have to talk about it, okay? And we have to bring some awareness to it as well, because I got a few things I got to say, and I'll get into it in just a minute, okay? But some very interesting news has come out. We're going to look at some court documents, because obviously we got some court documents that have been released. Showing about what's going on, what's going to be, what's the future looking like, okay? In the next couple weeks, what is looking like for Jared Leisek or Leisek? I don't even know how to pronounce his last name properly, so maybe somebody can tell me that as well. So there's some really interesting information that has been developing, more things that are coming out through the rumor mill, and other YouTubers have talked about some certain things as well. So we got to jump into this and talk about this indeed. So do me a favor before we get everything going, hit that like button, send it past 100 likes real quick for me. That would really mean a lot. I see a bunch of y'all starting to file in. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to every single last one of y'all that are watching on every corner of this wonderful blue ball that's spinning around a big hot ball of lava. You know what I'm saying. Around the sun. I appreciate you watching this, seriously. And please, for those of y'all who haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot, okay? You know your boys out here working hard out here in these streets to give you guys the information that you need. So please hit that subscribe button. Be great to have you part of the Pascal Show family. We got a lot of stories to tell. And bring a light to a lot of issues that I think are being swept under the rug. So please hit that subscribe button. And before I drop out the music, do not forget, hit that notification bell. Or if you have it on and you didn't get any notification on this live, turn it off, turn it back on. That's all you need to do. Click it, turn it off, turn it back on. All right? But be sure to make sure that notification bell is most definitely on, because I do randomly do pop-up lives, and I have my pop-up videos as well. So that would be greatly appreciated, guys. Anyway, because I want you guys in the know. And I know that you guys watch other YouTube channels as well, and there have been a lot of other channels talking about this information that I'm going to be telling you guys. So for you guys, this may not be big news. This may be old news to you. This may very well be old news to you. But it is very interesting nonetheless. Now, we don't have anything like written out. It's really kind of a heard it through the grapevine type of situation, which we will be getting into in just a minute. But we do have to look at some of these things here, because there's some interesting stuff that's been kind of popping off. And now we have other people that are other members that have stepped out to say that they're no longer rocking with the best, I guess. Rocking with the team. A lot of people are stepping down. A lot of people are starting to resign, which, honestly, I'm not surprised about it. I figured that this was inevitable, that this was going to happen. I mean, this is in my thoughts, if you are stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you have people out here that feel some type of way, you hear this unbelievable piece of information, these emails and all that are very telling, very damning. What would make you stay? What would make you stick around when it seems like there isn't somebody, where it doesn't seem like there really is the person who's being accused of these accusations, these unthinkable accusations, is showing no remorse, it seems. In the emails, there are showing admittance of doing the thing, but not admitting guilt, if that makes any sense. It's very strange, y'all. It's a very strange turn of events that's been going on here. And of course, there's been people that have been stepping out and saying, I'm out. I'm kicking rocks. You will no longer see me on this channel anymore. With all due respect, so on and so forth. There's a lot of people that feel some type of way. Totally understandable. But, there are some people that I do a few videos. I want to show you guys one of these. For example, this is a video of another person, Carson McMaster. I'm not going to show the whole video, but I'm just trying to show you guys that the ship is sinking and people are starting to jump ship. Real talk. They're starting to jump ship. And do you blame them? I'll tell you what, I don't. Okay? I don't. And I saw in the corner of my eye somebody saying that there may be, maybe Jay, I'm going to call him Jay from this point on. Maybe Jay is, trying to set something up where he has his own, a different team, where he builds another team. Hey, if that's what he wants to do, good on you. Good luck. Godspeed to you. Okay? But I don't think a lot of his crew are going to be sticking around. The burning question, though, I still have in my mind is, what is Doug going to do? What about Doug? Let me be real. He's a crowd favorite. A lot of people love them some Doug Bishop. Shout out to Doug. But I'm curious, and the respect that he's garnered, but I'm curious, what's he going to do? What's his next move? Is he going to stick with this? Is he going to stand by his man, his partner? Or is he going to kick rocks as well? Again, from what we are seeing right now, this is a sinking ship. So it's very interesting to see who's trying to bail. But let's take a look at this guy, okay? Just a quick update, letting you guys know where he stands. Let's take a listen, shall we?
This is a formal update on the current situation that I am in. I would like to firstly say that I will not be answering or making any comments on the current situation of Adventures with Purpose.
Understandably, because he has, let's be real, of course I got to cut in and out. Sorry, guys, but of course. Okay, there's an echo again. Dag, nab. Hold on. I'm glad you guys told me that now. Hold up. Let's try this again. The echo is real. Okay, there's an echo. Okay, thank you guys. All right, but I forgot what I was saying. But I'm going to roll that back again. But I don't blame him for not for not wanting to talk. It could be NDAs, clauses, etc., contracts, you name it. It could be a slew of different things. So I don't blame him for Carson. I don't blame Carson for saying that he's not going to talk much about the situation. But let's continue. I'm going to play it again. Let me know if there's any echo.
a formal update on the current situation that I am in. I would like to firstly say that I will not be answering or making any comments on the current situation of Adventures with Purpose, but I would like to speak about what I am going to do and what I am going to do moving forward. Moving forward, I would like everyone to know that I am no longer a part of Adventures with Purpose. I have left the company because of personal reasons for moral obligation. Moving forward, I will pursue my creative passion when it comes to filming, storytelling, and the creative desire to continue documentary work along with some other freelance stuff.
Okay, so obviously, as you could tell, he's going to be doing his own thing. But let me hear this real quick.
Some other freelance stuff.
Oh wow, that is nuts. I don't know why it's doing that. To be really, really honest, I do not know why that's doing that. That is so annoying. Hold on. I don't know why that's doing that. I don't know why that is doing that. Let me try that again. I'm going to play a little bit more. Sorry, guys, just to test the sound. But I don't know why it's doing that.
This is pretty much all I have to say amongst the subject matter. As far as everything I have learned this past year, it has been a pleasure working with really amazing people, but sometimes things just have to come to an end.
Okay, so you obviously can hear, I mean, I don't know why that there's an echo. Okay, so you obviously can hear, hold on. I mean, I don't know why that there's an echo.
This is pretty.
Yeah, that's wild. I do not know why that is happening. That's really annoying. It must be a glitch within the program, because I don't know why it's doing that. That's very, very frustrating. I'm gonna, man, that's annoying. But I'm gonna try. Now I'm echoing. What? Hold on. That's very, very frustrating. Okay. Yeah, I'm not echoing. Okay. I'm good. I don't know what's going on with these videos. It must be something with the program. I'm sorry about that, guys. We're just going to have to rock through it. But if the echo does come out or whatever, please let me know. Okay. Because I gotta keep pushing. Okay. I got to keep on moving. All right. So the thing is as we already saw in this video, all right, this is one of the other guys that was a part of the team. He is sitting here saying, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gone. I don't stand with this kind of stuff, etc. Again, a good response video, not a reaction video, which we already know that Doug did a reaction video. Okay. But at the same time with this is a response video. It's more calculated. It's more concise. It's more diplomatic. It's more of like, hey, I'm not with this. I do not stand with this, so on and so forth. I got to go. I'm not staying here. So this is good. That's what needs to be done, right? Now, when it comes to this, it is pretty wild. I mean, let's be real. It's still interesting because even though people are sitting here going, well, you know, the emails could have been fabricated, bro, that these, this, and this. If these emails were actually fake, if they were 110% fake, one, I feel like Jared would have been, or Jay, sorry, I feel like Jay would have been on in front of a camera and would have annihilated all these accusations. That's number one, okay? Number two, why would he respond to other people, naming even exploring with Nug, stating that the things that he said in these emails were true? Doesn't make any sense to me right there, guys. It really doesn't. Okay? Sorry, I'm reading your comments. Sorry. So it doesn't make any sense for him, like for anyone to sit here and say, "Oh, the emails." No, I mean they're obviously very, very real. He admits it to other people. Like I feel like he's saying the cat's out of the bag. F it. Here it is, y'all. Warts and all. Take it. Whether you like it or not, this is what I am. So on and so forth. It is what it is. This is what I did 30 years ago. Let's move on. That's what it seems like, and that's what it looks like in those emails. Now, I haven't read those emails to you guys, but you guys have seen them on other channels, okay? And, Mel's channel did a fantastic job breaking this story to begin with, and showing everything, emails, etc., messages, etc. It's wild, absolutely wild. So why, again, I say, why would anyone think that these emails are fabricated if there are credible sources stepping forward saying these emails? He said that everything he had to say was in the emails. Also, on top of this, let me say this too. If these emails and these accusations were not true, then why is everybody jumping ship? Think about it for a second. Because they can sit there and go, we already know that all this is fake. These allegations are not true. We stand with our CEO. We stand with AWP. We stand with Jay, however they want to say it. They wouldn't jump ship. They would just sit there and say, these accusations are not true. But notice, people starting to walk. And more people, ex-employees, so on and so forth, are coming out and saying more things as well. They're all coming out. They're now saying the stuff like, oh, you really want to know about this? You really want to know about the guy? You really want to know about AWP or whatever it is? Here it is. If this stuff was, as some people say, fake news, why are people jumping ship? We saw Josh Cantu, one of their cameramen, step off, sit there and say, I'm out. I don't stand for this. I stand with the victims. I do not condone this kind of behavior. As Doug said, and possibly he was saying a code. Maybe Josh was saying the same thing. A code was broken, and I'm not down for it, and I'm out. I got a baby daughter. I got a 16-month-old daughter. I ain't with it. I'm out. Now you got Carson, same thing. I'm not with it. Can't say much here, but I'm out. Says a lot. Says a lot. When everybody in your team, except for, right now we don't know what's going on with Doug. Again, I still keep wondering what's going on with Doug. Sup with Doug, though? Where he at? What is he going to do? What is going to be his final decision? Is he going to kick rocks or is he going to stick around? That's what I'd like to know. Because if he sticks around, that does say a lot. That does translate two different things. It does. But if he truly feels like a code was broken, there was a code and it was broken. And of course, he did say something about contracts and all that. All right. He did. Maybe he's holding back because of a lot of red tape, a lot of legal papers, a lot of legalese type stuff, where he's got his esquires doing whatever they need to do to keep it moving. Maybe. Or maybe he's just seeing what happens next. That could be it too. just sitting back, laying low. Now, this is interesting. Kathy Kinder said Doug is working with another CEO. Wow. That's very interesting, too. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay. Man, this whole thing is crazy. This whole thing is mind-blowing. And heartbreaking, because I know a lot of people looked up to this YouTube channel, looked up to the main guy, the mastermind behind this whole brand, and now the brand is tarnished because of all this. OG Bosgal, hopefully I'm saying that right. Anyone with any integrity would leave, in my honest opinion. The DA would not file frivolous charges, especially 30-year-old ones. Absolutely. And I agree. It all depends on what happens. And that's the other thing too. Is this at the point of no return? Could they just bring in another CEO, rebrand in a way, as Spitfire the Dragon TV Love and Positive Light just said? The company is tainted, and sponsors are leaving AWP because of Jay. And that's true too. That's very, very true. Somebody actually tweeted that to me today. Actually, let me pull that up. Real quick. This whole thing is, it's nuck and futs. It's crazy, man. This whole thing is crazy. Whole thing is absolutely crazy. Let me show you guys this real quick. Current state of AWP sponsorships as of 11/9 or November 11th, 2022. Info found on top post of the main thread in the AWP Reddit forum. Okay. But these are some of the people, some of the sponsors that have dropped out. VotaSafe, Aqua Eye, Expion 360, lithium batteries. I mean, these are all people, these are sponsors that are starting to leave because they found out what was going on, and they do not condone that type of behavior. Again, who would want to stand by that kind of stuff? This whole situation. It makes me think of the, this is a completely different ball game and a completely different conversation, but you got somebody like Kanye talking crazy, talking out the side of his neck. Now you got Adidas saying, bye, see ya. Balenciaga, all these other companies saying, hey, you say those kind of things, we don't stand for that. We out. But we're going to take your designs and rename it, by the way. So it's crazy, right? Lisa Lapp, let me say this. Pascal, what happened to that guy that donated $75,000? I don't know. I put out my email out there, and he never responded. B&E management, if you're watching or listening right now, would love to have you on to chop it up. They may have forgotten. I know that they were on another podcast somewhere talking about this as well. Okay. But yeah, this is crazy. So the thing is okay, with this information, which I'll talk about here in a second. This is something I heard on other channels. So it's not like this is written in a article form. But we will talk about that in just a minute. But I do want to show you guys a little bit more with the court documents as well. So let's take a look at this. Okay. JL has hired attorney Randall Richards to represent him in his situation. Okay. Can't say those things. JL has filed a motion to appear remote via WebEx, or like video camera. I suspect he plans to surrender and be booked sooner than later, sneaking in and out to avoid cameras on November 30th. So just to take a look at a little bit of this. So of course, this is, This is some of the court documents, okay? State of Utah versus JL. Comes now the defendant by and through his attorney of record and requests that the clerk submit to the court for decision the motion and order to appear by webcam in the above order. In the above matter. Sorry about that. So the court, in the above entitled case, based on the motion of defendant JL, to allow him and his attorney to appear at the hearing scheduled for November 30th, 2022, via webcam, makes the following order. It is hereby ordered that the defendant and the defendant's attorney, Richards, be allowed to appear on camera at the hearing on November 30th at 10:30 a.m. I know it's small for you guys, and I apologize. But this is showing, he's trying to do this. And what's interesting is, yes, to me, it also kind of makes me think that he's trying to avoid making the walk from his car into the courtroom. Because for a fact there's going to be cameras, there's going to be paparazzi, media, etc. Maybe some YouTubers that would want to be there to capture him, the first glimpse of him out in public as he's sauntering into the courthouse. And I'm sure he doesn't want to be seen. So that could be one thing. Or he's trying to get or he's trying to kick rocks. I don't know. Like, I could show up via webcam anywhere, but I feel like that's far-fetched. I don't think he's going to kick rocks. I don't think he's going to run. I heard some people talk about that before, like, oh, maybe he's going to run. Nah, I don't think he's going to run. I really don't think he's going to run. I really don't. If the judge, this is from SF Investigates, by the way, just so you know, where I'm getting this information. But it says if the judge approves the motion to appear remote, she will sign the proposed order and make it part of the docket. When JL is booked, Utah no longer allows public access to mugshots unless the defendant is convicted or pleads guilty. So it depends on if he actually pleads guilty or not. Okay. So that's one piece right there. Okay. That's some of the documents that we have so far. Now, let me pull up some more because there's more here. There's some more. Here we go. So, Leisek's attorney also filed a request for discovery. This means they are asking for copies of all evidence, including interviews, statements, police reports, etc. The state is in the possession of the motion, that the state is in possession of. The motion is 7 pages long. This is the first page only. The other pages are very routine. So let's just take a look at this really quick. So comes now Richards, attorney at law, and hereby enters his appearance on behalf of the defendant in the above captioned action, which of course is JL. Please send copies of all documents or pleadings to the address listed above. Further pursuant to Rule 16 of the Utah Rules of Criminal Procedure, the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution, Utah Constitution, Article 1, Section 7, 11, and 12, and as required by the established case law under Brady v. Maryland, Giglio, versus United States versus Bagley, U.S. something or like state versus Pinder, etc. All these other cases, state prosecutors' duty to learn of any favorable evidence known to others acting on the government's behalf in the case, including the police, defendant, hereby moves the court to require plaintiff to promptly disclose to the defendant any and all statements. So they want more things. So that means, and I don't know if they're going to be using, let's just say, I don't know if they have more than just those emails, right? But they're basically saying that we want everything. Emails, phone recordings, police reports, anything, any statements, etc., that can be used in this trial, which is very interesting because it makes you think and makes you wonder what else is out there. What else? What other piece of information is out there? Now, I have to get into this because we do have to talk about this because obviously there's more information. There's more people finding out stuff. I'm hearing, excuse me, and I got to read this thing from SF Investigates again as well, because he's got another statement here. He's got all the information. But what's interesting is, of course, we're now starting to hear that there possibly are other people that are involved, that could be involved. Then we're also hearing, and this is what I heard on Mel's channel, so definitely go check out his channel, please. He's been coming in with the heat. But now we're starting to find out that Jared's wife knew all along. But I will say this, before I look at to show you guys this more information from SF. Jared's wife, he and his wife are high school sweethearts. Of course, I don't want to say her name or anything of that sort. I just want to be real, okay? Because obviously, I don't want to put any negativity towards her. It is still something that is shocking. It's still shocking information, and it does make you wonder if he was finessing her for these many years, all this time, or if she really, really knew. To me, from what I'm hearing, obviously we're hearing it from, I believe, a credible source, that she knew all along. It's pretty wild. It is pretty wild. She knew. It's surprising. So I can't show you this article because I don't want to put her name out there, because like I said, I don't want any negativity going towards her. There's so much going on with this, and of course, there's a lot of different emotions that are going through my mind, thoughts and emotions that are going through my mind and body right now, where I feel some type of way about this information, but then on top of it, I just don't want to bring any smoke in the wrong direction or in the wrong way, because the person that really needs to be looked at is Jay, not the wife. The wife knew, yes, and that allegedly she knew, or she knows, and that is still devastating, and that's wild. And they have children too of their own. That's very shocking to me. And God knows what they've said, and maybe they've addressed it to the family, or addressed it to their kids. I mean, not the family, because the family, we heard Jessica bravely tell us about how the family really was. Could he have, I don't know, manipulated his own wife? I don't know. But like I said, these are just questions. It is just wild. Again, very, very wild. But I want to tell you a little bit. There's a little bit of background story of them. Okay, so Jay and his wife met in high school. So this is his high school sweetheart. Okay. According to his website, he put together an application to date him. This is in high school, which he printed out and handed it out to about 20 girls. True story. Allegedly. Gotta say that. One girl, his future wife, filled it out, quote unquote, with near perfect answers, along with a lipstick lip print she left and the perfume scent she sprayed on the application. The site reads. So this is on the website. This is on his website. Talking about how he met his future everything. His future wife and mother of his children. It still took Jared 3 months to convince her to go on their first date after realizing she'd filled out the application as a joke. So she's a cheeky little bugger. All right. The two graduated from high school together and they got married within the same year. So they graduated from high school in 1995 and then they got married that same year. They've been together ever since. So you tell me you're with somebody that long. That's 1995. 1995, 27 some odd years. 27 some odd years, if I'm doing the math correct. Am I doing the math correct? Yeah, I'm doing the math correct, just about. Graduated in 1995, they got married within that same year, and they've been together ever since. And you're telling me she wouldn't know? Not at all. You know, obviously there's a lot of things that go on within families, you know? And when you bring a spouse in, they start to learn things about how the family works. Whether it's a good, wholesome, loving family, or if it's rot with history of SA, you learn about these things quick. Then also on top of that, I'm also learning that she works closely with the whole thing. She's in the business. So if a cousin or an ostracized sister is sending out emails and text messages and phone calls and all that, trying to get a hold of the person that did some unthinkable things to them, you don't think she's going to catch what's going on in the crossfires? There is no way. I mean, and maybe I'm wrong, but in my mind, I'm going, there's no way someone can keep a family secret like that secret from their own wife, especially if they work closely with them. No way. And you got to remember, allegedly, there's possibly other people, other family members that have been affected by this whole situation, if you get what I'm saying. You're telling me none of them have pulled her, gotten into a heated argument, said something, and she didn't question anything? I'm just saying there's just no way the wife wouldn't know it all. And maybe she thought, there's no way that this is going to be, that this is what happened in his past. It is what it is. He's moved on. He's a better man for it. You know, whatever. Never underestimate the power of denial. Okay. And she's putting this in her head so that she can continue on being with him. At least that's what I mean, that's at least what I see, or at least that's what it seems like. But you're with somebody for that many years. Even Muggs just said, I just saw this. Hold on. And congratulations on your wonderful marriage. All right. 34 years is a very, very long time. But let me ask you something, Muggs. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Wouldn't you say that you know your spouse through and through? If there was something that happened to your spouse when they were young, so on and so forth, if they ever been locked up or if they ever done, committed a crime, etc., none of those conversations ever came out? Ever? Just curious. Because 34 years is a long time. Got plenty of time to get to know each other. Plenty of time to really get to know each other. And you're living on top of each other, breathing in each other's air, all up in each other's face, swapping fluids. Let's be real. You're telling me you're not going to know something like that at all? So for that information that's come out, I believe it, that they know, that she knows. But maybe she just saw, hey, this business is doing well. This hustle's killing it. Why stop a good thing from going? Why stop it? Let's just keep it moving. Let's ride this mother lover till the wheels fall off. We making the monies. Look at our house. Look at our crib. Look at what we got. Just something to think about. Like I said, I do not want no smoke towards her. Please do not do that. But it is interesting enough. Because if she knew, and if she's working within that business, she knew what was going on. We also heard other stories. We've heard other things being told about people in the crew, people in the show, okay? Knowing at least a little bit of something. They didn't know a whole lot of something, but they knew a little bit of something. Enough to know that something unsavory is about to come and rear its much needed ugly head out here in these streets. And people stayed and paid it no mind. I'm not saying every single member, but certain members did know. I believe, for example, Josh Cantu. I even believe the fellow I just showed you guys, Carson, if I'm correct. Yes, Carson. I believe them. I'm thinking these are brand new guys. They're new into the game, etc. Okay? Not really knowing everything, right? But the guys that have been there for a while, come on. You know for a fact they knew something. They knew something, okay? Let's keep it straight funkies up in this biz nah ye. All right? Let's keep it straight funky, okay? They know something. You can't tell me that they don't. I mean, like I said, it's just interesting, you know? But I will say this. If Jay wants to do anything he can to save his channel, I don't know what he needs to do, but one thing he does need to do is get in front of a camera and address the people that are trying to understand what the heck is going on. And I know that there's some people out here that are diehard for Jay right now. And hey, that's fine. Innocent until proven guilty. Okay? Innocent until proven guilty. But at least explaining and having some transparency to his audience, to his people, that would be helpful. Now, I understand there's also this situation that he's looking at some serious charges. Him speaking out may be a very bad idea, could very well be a very bad idea for him to go out and talk in the first place. So because of this situation, these charges, he may not be able to get out and talk right now. But I feel like there's some way you can go around and say something. Something. Address the audience. Let them know something. Silence is deafening. Silence says a lot, in my personal opinion. Let me show you guys this. And also, yes, I know, James Joseph, yes, the Mary Jane in Missouri is recreational now. Mary Jane, it is legal to roll up that devil's lettuce. Recreationally speaking, it was medicinal. Now it is recreational. There's gonna be so many stores popping up in the next year. Watch. Everything is gonna smell like weed. Everything. Okay. Every corner of every city in Missouri is just gonna be one big cloud of smoke. It's just gonna be one gigantic Dutch oven. Okay. It's going to be one big ass hot box, but I digress. All right. Let me show you guys this really quick. A lot of people are very excited about that news, though. Let's keep it real. So let me show you guys this tweet here. The other members of AWP most likely are not restricted from working in the same field, in or a non-compete must be part of the employment offer at least 2 weeks before the employee started, or if signed after, must include a bona fide advancement and the employee must make more than the median income of a family of 4. The Oregon non-competes are not valid for more than 12 months. As far as the NDAs, I think they are void. Ooh. AWP as the employer breached its implied duty of care in the employment agreement, voiding the NDA. Interesting. So they breached the NDA in implied duty of care in the employment agreement, voiding the NDA. So, and Ava just said it too. Morality clause. Yup. So, technically, the guys can come out and talk because the contract was already breached by Jay, by the wrongdoings of Jay. I said it before. Last night's show or something. I said it out loud. I was like, is it possible? Could it be? Bang. Now, as far as they say non-competes, they're not valid for more than 12 months. So I don't know. But I feel like there's a way around it. There's definitely a way around these non-competes, etc. Because let's be real. Once AWP is gone, once it dismantles, which it looks like it's starting to do that right now, I mean, they got nothing. And there's always a way to change one note and still be able to continue, right? Change one note in the scale, change one note in that song, and it's a brand new song, right? It's an original now. So there's a way that these guys could team together and do another version of AWP, call it something else, right? Exploring the Bayou, you know what I mean? And then YouTube channel, and then next thing you know, they can do the same thing. But I don't think that they're in trouble. Like, I don't think that they're stuck and they can't work for a year. No, I don't think so. But I do think there's going to be people out here, the crew members, that may not want to do this anymore because of what happened. Could trigger them, just remembering all the craziness that just transpired. So it's a lot to think about. And I can see why Doug is, chilling right now. Just chilling in the cut, sitting, leaning in the cut and waiting. I can see him doing that. But at the same time, him doing an official video, and the other guys too, the other main voices of the channel, they definitely do need to step forward very soon, before other people start thinking otherwise. Melanie Deacon Kelly, thank you so much for the $7 Canadian. I really do appreciate it. It's been said on Nug's channel that these emails were Jared's statement. Exactly. I said it earlier, but thank you so much for the reminder. He did. Jared said everything I said in the emails were my statement. So he's admitting it. And we already have the hero, the cousin, Jessica, that has stepped forward, and has been brave enough to speak out and do these interviews and all that. A lot of truths have come out. Okay. Rianne, the diva, thank you so much for the 5. Really feel for Carson. Not only was he the youngest, but looked up to Jay like a father figure. Ugh. Yeah, yeah. It's sad because, a lot of people felt that way. A lot of people were looking at that show, looking at that channel, praising these guys for doing some really amazing stuff. And that should not be thrown out. That should not be forgotten. These guys and this whole team did some amazing stuff. But there was a big, huge, disgusting elephant in the room that was never addressed. Then on top of that, when we start hearing all the things of guys getting finessed with their monies, not only just Ryan Upchurch, okay? Other people apparently were finessed, swindled out of cash, swindled out of their money. It's disturbing. It just makes you wonder. You got the team that's standing right, like all these guys are standing right next to Jay as these things are going down. You're telling me that they didn't see that? Yet all these other employees who have left, like Sam, etc., that have left, you're telling me that those guys didn't see it? They didn't see him finesse these poor families that have no money, but are willing to drop everything for them? They took advantage of these families. They took advantage of these family stories too. It's just disgusting and very disturbing. But let me show you guys this other video. This is another video. And let me show you guys what it says in the caption before we continue on here. It says, this is Kyler Ginn. Hopefully I'm saying his last name right. All right. He literally just did a live about 2 hours, a little bit under 2 hours ago. But it says, why I left the Adventures with Purpose trip. The story I've waited 2 years to tell. So he said, ever since I started my channel, I have wanted to share the story of my 2 weeks with AWP. I hope this brings added clarity to the character of those involved. And of course, Sam, the adventure man, is right here in the video as well, sitting with him and talking about this whole thing. And then also doubling down on a lot of the stuff that this gentleman, Kyler, sorry, I was going to say Kyle. Kyler is saying here. It's pretty wild stuff. Okay. It's pretty wild stuff. But I wanted to show you guys a little bit of this. There's a part here that Sam says, but I wanted you guys to hear it. Just a tiny bit of what they had to say here. Oh, and if it's echoey, I get it. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. It just is what it is. Just ride with me. I'm sorry that it's echoey. I don't know what else to do. This doggone thing, this rig, not this rig, but the program is acting a damn fool. Also, do me a favor. Thank you. That's Sam's son. Thank you so much. Kyler is Sam's son. Thank you so much for that clarity. Okay, thank you so much. Do me a favor, real quick. I see almost 1,000 of you guys watching the show. I appreciate it. Welcome to the show. Hit that like button down below, and do not forget to crush that subscribe button. Okay, I'd really appreciate it to talk about all kinds of stuff on this channel. Everything from true crime, pop culture, controversy, everything. You name it, I talk about it right here. So hit that subscribe button. All right. Oh, and I know this mic sounds fine, but I'm talking about this video that I'm about to play. It's going to probably echo. Hopefully it doesn't. I'm praying to the sweet baby Jesus that it doesn't. But it should be good. It should be. If not, I'm sorry. We're just gonna have to ride with it. Okay. Hopefully it's still. Hopefully you can still hear what they're saying. Mountain Kayaker, let me just say this one really quick. Thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you to all y'all who are sending out super chats. Yes, if you send a super chat, I will definitely be reading those all and responding to those super chats. So keep them coming. That would really, really mean a lot. That would mean the world to me. Okay. Thank you so much for your support. This is so disturbing. A couple months ago, I started following AWP because I thought they had a great cause. Well, on paper, they did. It seems like. Okay. On paper, they did. You feel me? But now, the truth has come out. And there's plenty of people. We saw this in one of the other videos that we were watching last night. Okay. Before I go into this, it's like there's a lot of people that out here that will take full advantage of things, movements, causes, etc. Tug at your heartstrings, but then take all your money, right? It's disturbing. It's extremely disturbing, but it's a real thing, okay? It's a real thing, and I think they saw that. At first, maybe they were doing things out of the kindness of their heart, but then realized they were starting to make more monies, and then they got focused on money rather than the heart, rather than the reason why they started the business in the first doggone place, why they started the YouTube channel in the first doggone place. They got greedy. They wanted to get their grubby little hands on more money. That's what it seems like to me, and it's just very sad. But let me play a little bit of this. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but there's a good chunk here that I want you guys to see. Please go over to Kyler's YouTube channel, Kyler Jin. I'll put it in the description box down below here in just a second, but please go over to his channel, give him some love, subscribe to his channel. And of course, you can go to Sam, the Adventure Man, his father, who's to the right of the screen. Go subscribe to his channel as well. All right, let's go.
Well, eventually you kind of were, but anyway, so
the sound is trash, but let's go.
left. I've told people it was funny to me that one of the worst nights of my life was in Kansas. Like as someone who'd never even been there, that was just ironic. But yeah, so anyways, I leave, I go, I get I fly home, whatever. Me and you, we don't really talk much for a little while.
Yeah, for a couple months.
For a couple months, which for us, that's a long time. Like, I mean, at this point, we talk on the phone almost every day. But, I mean, even then, like, that's a long time.
Thank you, Debbie.
So, at this point, I leave. And then fast forward a little bit, you leave. And I was so relieved when he left. I felt like a weight in our relationship had been lifted because I just saw you out there with who at this point, I haven't even gone into detail on some things because I don't think it's whatever. But at this point, I had thought Jared was already the most evil person I met. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that had to do with how he was selling himself as a poor person and taking advantage of people. And I was able to do some math and just knew it wasn't accurate.
And he was
braggy.
He showed us that he was braggy. He goes, oh, look at how good I'm doing. It was weird.
But he was putting on a front like he was Poe. I said Poe because we all know what poor feels like, but he was trying to act like he was Poe. Interesting. Why would you even do it? There's more.
Anyways, so I was really happy when you left. I actually ghost wrote part of when you were talking to Jared because I remember, when the things happened between him and Jared, he really just was done with the situation. You were upset.
I was pissed.
He was super mad.
You actually said that, hey, Dad. Because first off, I thought that why did I stay around so long? I actually thought that I could like steer the ship.
Yes,
I
didn't saying that.
I didn't know that Jared was this bad of a dude, and so my first like check was, all right, well I'm just gonna see if he even respects me, and by talking in terms of money, because that's what he understands. And if I know that I have his respect, then during the trip, I'll come forward and I'll talk to him about everything else that's going on, talk to him about my heart. I was really hoping that I would be able to open up to the guy and really steer this thing, in a better way. And things weren't that bad at first. They kept getting nastier and nastier. He came in at a nasty moment.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so, like I said, I thought I could steer the ship, but in the end, no, I couldn't. There was no, because Jared very much presented it all. Sam, this is me and you, man.
He was hustling him. Sounds like he was hustling him. Okay, hustling him. Finessing him. Massaging his shoulders and being like, "Oh, look at hey, yo, we got this. Look at this. It's you and me, man. It's you and me." Hustling. To me, it sounds like hustle. All right. Do the hustle. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you remember, but he was ready to just dip. I told him to check. Like, I was like, you should text him and see if he even respects you.
Yeah, I had originally sent him an FU text.
He hadn't sent it. You typed it.
No,
you sent it to me. You sent it to me to say.
I typed it because Kyler at this point we were kind of talking back and forth. We were open about our experience with AWP. And so I said, "Hey Kyler, this is what I'm going to be sending to Jared." And then Kyler was like, "Wait, maybe you should try to talk to him."
See. Yeah, because I honestly, this is my thought. If Dad sent Jared an FU text, I thought, one, you would look like a bad guy and give him some whatever. And I actually thought, I knew Jared was going to tell you to screw off. I, in my heart of hearts, felt that, but I thought you needed to know that.
All right, cool.
Like, I thought that you needed to see what kind of person he was. So I kind of ghost wrote a nice little whatever text, and it was about, just wanting his respect and some of the stuff, and you were told to screw off. So that happens. Are you going through looking for it?
Yeah, actually, I found the text. That after he did tell me to screw off, I did send the text, and I said, honestly, over time, I felt like you haven't valued me, my well-being, or respected my thoughts or options. Or opinions, rather. Let me back that up. Slow my reading. Honestly, over time, I felt like you haven't valued me, my well-being, or respected my thoughts or opinions. You kind of have a King Jared mentality. You seem to look down on others, whether they are female, minority, poor, or anything other than you.
Whoa. This is bad. And just so you know, the channel is Kyler Ginn or Jin, Ginn. Kyler Jin. Okay, Kyler Kyler Jin, Ginn. Just so you know.
Even an ignorant coal miner, as you have referred to blank, I'm not going to mention the person's name. I can only imagine what you say about me when I'm not there. You tell half-truths to your wife. If you're not honest with your mate, you won't be honest with me. I love helping the families and doing good in the world, but I was doing that long before YouTube and long before recognition. You do good because it's marketable. Valor seems to mean nothing to you. After 2 years of hanging out with you, I've grown to dislike you.
Whoa. So, Jen. Okay. Thank you. But oh my Lord. And saying half truths to his wife. Wow. So he was just hustling everybody. Wow.
So I did. I toned it down a little bit because I was heated, but I did end up sending him the text after I didn't have the initial handshake saying, "Hey man, let's see if we can work something out." My thought was we'd be able to work something out, and then on that trip, I'd have 40 plus days to work on him and talk to him and say, hey man, and I thought I could steer the ship and into a positive direction, but boy was I wrong.
And I honestly thought I think you had been blinded by I don't know how many months of knowing the guy.
Mhm.
I had just came in and kind of saw how he was at that moment when I came in.
Yeah. So I was starting to
Get lulled to sleep by it.
Yeah, being a little desensitized, and I'll admit to that. I certainly was a little desensitized. There were certain things that I would not have crossed, and things were starting to swell up in my gut, and I could just feel that gut feeling, saying get away, get away. And then Kyler got away, and then it was like, yeah, I definitely need to get away, get away. And then finally I did.
And I wanted to speak slightly to me getting away. This was something like that when I thought about it, sounded amazing because one, I like scuba diving. That's like some of my passion. If I could do that professionally somehow, whether that's for YouTube or something, that'd be a dream of mine. It involves helping people. It was just there were so many things about this that sounded amazing to me, and I just was like, I couldn't overlook how he was and how things were going.
Now, I know he said some things in the very beginning here, which I'm going to pull up because I wanted you guys to hear that text message that Sam sent out to Jared during that time. It is very, very telling. But he starts to explain like this trip and why he left early and all that, which is very interesting. So I wanted to play a little bit of the beginning here. They just have all these weird sound issues in there. He's trying to figure it all out, like he's an old guy. You're like, how do I do this? Do I talk this way, or do I use the camera this way? Where's the camera? You know what I mean? It was very interesting. But then he starts to talk about the trip. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of that too.
And I remember Jared was in like I said, this is all my opinion, but Jared was in the front seat and he was driving. And so I decided I was going to go up and talk to him and pick his brain a little bit because he was an interesting person to me. Like, why wouldn't he be? He has a YouTube channel. He has all this stuff. So I go and I start to talk to him. And one question in particular, and what I remember asking was, I asked him why he got into YouTube. And now most people, when they get into YouTube, they say, oh, it's because I like something, or, oh, it's because I was doing something already and thought it'd be fun to share it with an audience.
Right.
But he told me that he got into it for money. And I was like, what? And he's like, well, I knew it was profitable.
Bang.
And so for me, that was kind of a weird thing, but I didn't think too much about it. I was kind of like it's a little, whatever, but that's not that big of a deal. So that was kind of the first red flag. And then the second red flag was hearing how he spoke about his fans. And
Here
the
we
nature
go.
he spoke about his fans and the some of the other, I'm not going to mention any names, but other people that were coming out to help us. He was really speaking about them as if they weren't humans or people. And I recall him saying, he said it in a joking tone, but it didn't come off as a joke to me. He said that if people didn't give his money to him, they would just be wasting it anyways.
Something else.
Yeah, on something else. And that was something he just said. And
I'm sorry, I want to roll that again. That is something else.
And then the second red flag was hearing how he spoke about his fans and the nature he spoke about his fans and the some of the other, I'm not going to mention any names, but other people that were coming out to help us.
Sorry, I'm still processing what he said. Yeah.
He was really speaking about them as if they weren't humans or people. And I recall him saying,
That's so crazy.
He said it in a joking tone, but it didn't come off as a joke to me. He said that if people didn't give his money to him, they would just be wasting it anyways.
That is some wow. I'm sorry, I had to play that again because wow. Wow. That's nuts, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not with that. Like he's the answer. Like he's the end all and be all. He's the greatest of all time. Wow.
Something else.
Yeah, on something else. And that was something he just said. And I think
Wow.
the other people might have heard that and thought it was kind of a joke, but that kind of stuck with me because I was like, well, that's, not whatever, but whatever.
No, it's not cool.
And then, so it was kind of on my mind a little bit. And then I have a vivid memory. This is my memory of it. Of us, we had, I'm not going to say the case. We've been working a case, and two little old ladies came up to us. And they asked Jared, they're like, hey, do you have money for gas? And these ladies, I don't like to judge anyone based off appearance solely, but these old ladies appear to be modest in nature, very modest. Some would even, they did not look like they were well-to-do. And he said, yes, we need gas money. And they handed him $50. And I also want to know, at this point, he had bragged to me a little about some of the money he was making. So it was like a red flag. So he takes the $50 or whatever that they give him, and he goes and he stuffs it in the door of the RV, the pocket, and it has the most loose money I'd ever seen in my life, like thousands of dollars. I'd never seen that much loose money. So at that point, wow, my alarm's starting to go off, but I'm just really, so that was, I think, the night before. That was the day before I left, I think. So then the last day, we're working a case, and this case is I'm not going to say the case. I don't want to say any names. If they ever want to speak about things, they can. But this case allegedly involved some of the most horrific things you could ever think of happening to a person.
Cult stuff.
It was cult stuff.
Cult related.
And involving rituals.
Right.
And,
sacrifice.
Yeah, just the worst stuff you could ever think of. And we are told the story. We are shown pictures to back up the claim. So immediately, I'm just like,
yeah, you're in a bad spot.
We're in a bad spot.
Not comfortable with that.
I'm not comfortable with that, but it was like, to me, take the cult stuff and all that stuff away, because I've never experienced that. But to me, part of the thing is I have experienced death in my life. I have, as many people have, I've experienced, family members. I've experienced friends that have,
You've had a lot of close friends.
I've had close friends pass away. So I don't take it lightly. And to me, handling people that are grieving and dealing with death is a very sacred kind of intimate thing. So to me, it was like, then to hear how it was their son had been murdered, allegedly. It was, to me, this is like, oh my gosh, this is the most sacred situation possible. So we're out on the case, and I remember we're out looking for the person, and we go to a spot where we're looking, and it clearly, anybody who had been working the case would know there's no chance of the person being here. But they were, filming and whatever. And I asked about it, and I was told that it was for show. Like, we have a show to make. So I was like, why are we here? And I was told, oh, well, we have a show to make. And immediately I got sick to my stomach.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. Okay. But don't you think this is very interesting? Remember the Kylie Rodney case? They did this whole video, which I thought was oh man, it just angers me so much. Because remember Nick, the roadside assistance fella? What happened to that guy? What up? Yeah, Christy Blue. Hold up, what? Say what? So he saw this too. He saw fabrications. He saw reenactments, not reenactments, but just filler, things that are not true to the actual case being filmed to make it more interesting to watch. They're taking these people's worst moments in their entire lives, and they're adding filler for more views to make it interesting. Again, They're adding things that are not true to their stories. This is coming from Kyler saying this. Now, this ain't some reality show. Okay? This ain't a reality show. This is supposed to be them being a voice to the voiceless and being honest. But adding all this other filler is ridiculous. Now, real quick before I continue on with this, I also need to tap in on this one part that Kyler said a second ago. So these two women who basically look like they don't have the money to begin with give Jay $50. And he goes, yeah, I need the money. He takes the money and he puts it into a side door compartment that already had thousands of dollars in it. So he just took money from those two women that could have used that money for themselves, probably needed the money more, literally needed the money more than him, and acted like he ain't got the monies and took it for himself and put it into the car. That's crazy. Those two stories alone right there, I can understand why Kyler said, ha, deuces. Like he just chucked up the deuces and kicked rocks. And that's probably, and of course I understand that's why he didn't talk to his father for a while. Who would want to be around somebody like this? If these stories are true, let me just say that right now. If this story from Kyler is actually true, this is mind-blowing, guys. And shows the true character of somebody. That's disturbing. Now, I want to talk about this real quick. I'm sorry going back and then jumping back on here to this subject again, but let's talk about the Kylie Rodney case. Remember Nick, the roadside assistance guy. Whether that is true or not, they were going on multiple interviews, multiple channels, talking because everyone, even myself, was obsessing over Nick, the roadside assistance guy. They said all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff on so many different channels, making people to believe to go down this particular dirty path. Change the narrative and go this way. Oh, wait. So you're telling me that they could have been with this, that, and the third, and he was wearing a flat bill, black San Francisco baseball cap, a tank top, a black tank top, and he had freckles or acne all over his face, and she acted strange, and she was asking a bunch of questions. She didn't remember how to turn on the car, so on and so forth, because the car was in neutral or something like that. Remember all this? They went on multiple interviews, multiple shows talking about this stuff. Multiple. And they kept pushing that narrative. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Several people were doing shows about this, and they kept pushing this narrative. Now we're hearing from somebody that was there, not at that actual filming, but at other places, showing that proof positive that they were out here fabricating, trying to bulk up their stories. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hold on real quick. Ziggy, welcome. I think you were a member before, but thank you so much for becoming a member again. I really do appreciate it. Seriously. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just still processing that, because that shows me exactly the nature of what this show is about. So you remember that part? Okay, especially remember that part where they go down, they see the truck, or they see the car, the SUV, it's flipped upside down. They go and view all around the car, all that stuff. And then the diver comes back up and he looks shook, right? Everybody was hanging on every single moment for that. And then they were saying, oh yeah, they were talking about how she was found how Kylie Rodney's remains were found in the back of the car. And they were riding that till the wheels fell off on that narrative. When they actually did a video I think it's like a year or two before, where they said this is normal. But they played it off in other interviews like this was some crazy, sinister plot. We're going to keep pushing this narrative. Think about it all, y'all. Think about it. It did actually happen that way. That's insane. Yet they do have a video out here where it says, oh yeah, it's normal. That's a normal thing. Where a body is found in the back of the car. That is a normal thing. Nothing sinister or strange about that. But he came out of that water and he looked all like, oh, like he ain't never seen a remains in water before. And was like, oh yeah, get the cops. Foul play. Da-na-na-na. You know what I'm saying? Adding suspense and drama to their content so that people click on it, keep going back, buying their membership, going and donating to them, giving them $75,000 and a trailer, writing a $100,000 check, and giving them a Hellcat. They hustled us.
Yeah, I actually would sometimes say, so Jared, is this a show day or a actual search day? What are we doing today? That's a real thing.
And to me though, being told that when I'm over here with my whole heart into what we're doing made me just want to puke. Like, honestly. Mm-hmm. So then that night...
Because these people, this is not a show for them at all.
No.
This is real life.
No.
This is real life.
No. It was never told, to people I saw, they were never told that that there was places being searched just because it was good content. Interesting. So I was absolutely, sick about that. So I remember that night. So at this point, I'm already sick. So we go back, and it's an older elderly couple, and we go and tell them that we were unable to find their son. And that we'd have to I don't remember if we were going to try again or something. I don't remember. It was something. I was there, and I was told, it's hard for me to even talk about, but the old man was crying, and I didn't film. I did not want to go, because I was helping filming. I did not want to go up close to him, and I turned the camera away because he was crying, and I didn't want anything to do with it. And then I got accosted for missing what was called the money shot. And at that point, I just ended up storming out because I to me, seeing this couple who's the last, I think, 30 years of their life had been affected or something like that by this crying and then wanting this camera shoved in their face, it just made me sick. Like, I couldn't handle it. So I go out, and, my dad, he notices. And we go out, and we talk in the RV, and I tell him exactly how I feel about everything that's been going on. And I'm, crying and yelling at him, and we had a falling out, but...
We got into it, and also some things that had to do with me personally between he and I. Came up, which ended up being a good thing because we were able to discuss things later and come to a better point.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's fair to put out. But yeah, so we had a falling out over this, and I left. I was in. I'm gonna say where I was. I might give things away, but I was in the middle of Kansas. I called a taxi. Middle of Kansas. No, I don't know where I am. Like. And that made also all the other stuff crazier.
Can I butt in?
Yeah.
So we were 20, right?
Yeah.
All right. So imagine this: a broke 20-year-old in the middle of Kansas on this what is sold to be this awesome trip. Hey, let's go across the country, see all these things. Broke 20-year-old says, "Screw it, Dad. I am buying my own taxi, getting my own hotel, getting my own airfare, and I'm leaving tomorrow." This was who he is and where he was.
No, because he kept saying, "Oh, we'll just stay tonight. We can drop you off or something." I'm like, "No, I'm done."
Yeah, he was done. It was no hangout. Well, hey, Kyler, you just hang out. We'll drop you off. He's not. I want to be gone from this as soon as possible. And he left in a taxi cab. And
Yeah.
I was, even though he and I got into it over some things, that was a very proud dad moment.
Yeah.
In a big way. Even though we had our little moment, I was proud of yes and yes.
And then, of course, that's when Kyler left and all that. And, this is just, I appreciate the two of them coming out and talking about this. Of course, you can go and check out the rest of the video when you get some time. I will definitely put the link in the description box down below, like I said before, after the show. So you guys can take a look at it. And, of course, go and subscribe if you like his content and all that. Support in any way you can. But the thing is that this is not a reality show. And it was people's real life stories. And if you wanted to capture something I get it. All right. I get it. You want to bring the drama. You want to bring the viewers in on the families of these victims and all that. And you want to tug at the heartstrings a little bit. I get all that stuff, but there's a way to do stuff without actually getting all up in their face if there's an uncomfortable moment. Okay. And if this particular gentleman here, Kyler, didn't feel right about shooting, okay, about shooting him, this gentleman that was getting emotional, then Jay should have respected that. Real talk. Like I said, there's so many other ways. Like, you could still get what you want without actually reprimanding somebody and saying, you missed the money shot. The money shot is actually finding the person, making sure that you find the person that you are putting the case on. That is the money shot. Hearing the stories and all that is all leading up to the moment where you say, I found Kylie's car and she's in it. That's the money shot. That's what people want to see. Yes, you want to bring them on an emotional journey. You have to do some storytelling. I get it. That's part of it. But at the same time, if somebody doesn't want to be filmed, respect them. These are people's lives. And instead of them putting those things out and helping be a voice to the voiceless, it seems as if they've been exploiting in a way. It's very, very sad. Very, very sad. Okay? But I get it. When you're storytelling, when you're actually telling the true story, not some fabricated BS and added stuff to thicken up the story and make it more interesting and make it more salacious and make it more viral. Okay, I get that you're trying to put on a story and tell the story to the people who are watching later. But there's a way of doing it with respect. There most definitely is. But the philanthropist, I can't even talk. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Thank you so very much. All right. And I see a bunch of y'all watching the show. Thank you so much for your support, philanthropist. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Please, guys, if you can, please hit that like button down below. Crush it. Send it past 800 likes really quick. I mean, shoot, there's almost 1,200 souls watching on all these platforms. Please hit that like button down below. Send it past 800 likes. That would mean the world to me, because a like doesn't cost a thing, but it also helps get the story out into the algorithm all the live long day. So please support. And of course, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. Okay. I talk about a lot of stuff on this channel, and we're talking about this right now. So, I mean, this is what I have to ask you guys. I mean, what are your thoughts on all this? What are your thoughts on the information that you've seen so far? I mean, you know, Sam's calling Jay all kinds of different things. Then we hear these different stories from his son Kyler. Very, very, very eye-opening things showing what Jay could possibly, what kind of character Jay could possibly be. It's very, very bad. It's very damning. I mean, the thing that threw me off, I mean, aside from the added fabricated BS, you know, the show stuff where that they brought up, the one thing that still blows my mind is the part with the ladies that probably was their last $50, that were so kind and so generous to give that energy to Jay, and Jay just took it when he already had well more than enough money to get where he needed to get going. That's extremely disturbing to me. Now, we already kind of got an idea about the fabrication stuff, but it is very, very interesting when you get to hear it from someone who was actually there, a fly on the wall, a dude that was actually holding the camera, doing some things for a project. He was so turned off that he left. He actually left the trip because he would not stand for that type. He would not stand for that type of con artistry. It's disturbing, y'all. JDR, thank you so much for the 14 Canadian. I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Namastella, does anyone know who was nominated the new CEO? Was it Doug? I'd love to know too. I'd really like to know too. Okay. Penn Dizzy, have a good one. All right. Great to see you in the chat. All right. But I'd love to know who could have been, you know what I mean? Who is stepping up and taking this over? And then the next question I have is, what are they going to do? Right? How are they going to rebrand this? Because there's a lot of people that feel some type of way about this. And again, we cannot deny the outside of the fabrication of things, okay, surrounding certain cases, they still have helped solve a lot of cases nonetheless. So there is still good in what they've done. And yes, they have been the voice to the voiceless, okay, for sure. Because these are stories that no one looked into. After, a few months, everyone moves on to the next story, the next big thing, the next viral moment, so on and so forth. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen. Nicole here, thank you so much for the comment on YouTube, said, Doug quit. Everyone quit. I want to see the Carfax on that. I need to see the proof on that, baby. Real talk. I need to see the proof on that. And hopefully we'll find out very soon. Of course, more and more people are starting to step out. They're starting to talk more. They're starting to say what they need to say. I'm hoping that Doug, and maybe if Doug is listening or watching, ear hustling this show right now, I hope he comes out and talks. Less reactionary, more of a response. Because I know that there's a lot of people that would go and follow him if he was to branch off and do his own thing. And I don't know about conflict of interest, etc., whatever's in their clauses, but it sounds like Jay already breached the contract. So maybe, possibly, I mean, I've never read their contracts, but maybe they can go off and do their own thing, bring these guys together and do a better, more honest version of AWP, just a different name, maybe, just maybe, but we'll see. Real quick, I want to say to Albus, thank you so much for fade away, Albus. Thank you so much, Albus, for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much, man. Welcome to the family membership. JDR, Infamous Truth Teller, what's up? Stephanie Gentry, BTS Gaming, YT23, and Vanilla Shortbread. Thank you so much for gifting them new members, and welcome to the chaos, which is the Pascal Show. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Thank you. But yes, man, what a crazy ride this has been. And I know some of y'all have been stuck to your phones or stuck to your wherever you watch YouTube right now, just stuck on this because there's just been new information, every day. And it's wild. We're going to see what happens here. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be more information here soon. But we don't know yet. We just got to sit back, wait, and see what goes down. I do think we're not going to hear anything from Jared at all. But if he does pop up, that would be a very big surprise. But I don't think we're going to be hearing anything from Jared anytime soon. And maybe that's probably for the best. I don't think people want to see it. Real talk. I just don't think. What would he have to say? You know what I mean? Stephanie Gentry said he's already spoke. I mean, if him speaking is him talking to, say, exploring with Nug, then I don't think that's him speaking. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's. Yeah. I meant Jay. Okay, you meant Doug. Okay, you thought I meant Doug. No, I'm talking about Jay. Okay. Not Doug. We already know he did talk. He already talked. We saw that video. We reacted to that video. But I'm interested to I don't think we're gonna hear from Jay. Period. We're not. Because what would he say? Unless it was him lying. Because he's already said, again, everything with Nug, or exploring with Nug, I'm sorry, saying my statement is what is in those emails. So he's not denying what has happened. So we'll see what happens on November 30th as well. If he's going to admit guilt, if he's going to plead guilty or not. I don't think he's going to plead guilty, but we'll see what happens here. We will definitely see what happens in the very near future, y'all. In the very, very near future. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I really do appreciate all y'all for being here. Thank you so much for being here, supporting this channel, becoming members, the super chats, etc. Please check out my merch store if you ever get some time. We got a great Black Friday sale going on all the way up till Black Friday. So please go and check that out. All right. But while you're here, hit that like button down below. Okay. That would really, really mean a lot. Okay. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all y'all's support. So go and do that thing and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Anyway, guys, it's time to get hungry because I'm hungry right now. It's time to get going because I'm hungry. And I'll be back on tomorrow. We'll be talking about whatever else is developing, whatever craziness is developing around this and many other stories. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Anyway, it is time to get going. And again, thank you to all the mods. You guys have been amazing. Okay? You guys have been amazing. Always to the mods. Thank you so much for holding it down. I appreciate you. Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.